Ladies and gentlemen, David Gregory.
I like the walk-up music. I didn't even know that was... Maybe sit with that for a minute. I'm just so happy to be here. First of all, congratulations to all of these wonderful honorees, many of whom I know, and their presenters, such great journalists and friends. And I have to take a moment to also pay tribute to the Queen and MJB, because I have been dancing to their music for a few years now. So it's great to be with them. A little disconcerting to my children, but I am just so happy to be able to stand up in front of you and say some things about my great friend, Eileen Naughton. She is a fantastic woman. As a senior executive at Google, she's also a unique woman. By that I mean she's one of the very few senior women there. I mean, you know, Google is a tech company after all. Being a woman in the media is not easy, I've heard, as has been mentioned about 47 times so far today. I work at NBC News, where there are only women in charge. And I just want everyone at the Matrix Awards to know that I wouldn't want it any other way. Eileen is getting this award because of what she has accomplished as a leader in the media business at Google, Time, and Fortune magazines, and don't forget AOL Time Warner, you know, which was just a little bit of a chapter. But as I said to Eileen, don't worry about that one, because instant wealth is highly overrated. So we're just going to go right over that. All the while, she has been forward-thinking and creative. She has been a great leader and a business manager. But I have to tell you that as much as I know and appreciate why Isle is such a dynamo in her work, my connection to her is much deeper than the business we share. Love is what first drew me to Eileen. No, don't get the wrong idea, especially with Craig right there. I mean, she was already married when I met her. But I fell in love with her closest friend in the world, Beth Wilkinson, who is killing herself that she can't be here today. But my bride is kicking butt up in a courtroom in Boston, which is what she does, and she likes to encourage me in my little job, as she calls it, and so I try to do that. But falling in love with Beth, I had heard so much about this Eileen Naughton. She was stylish and smart, graceful, great taste, most of all, a true and trusted friend, a real kindred spirit. So when I first met Isle, I was a little bit nervous. I knew that I'd be scrutinized. I'd be watched very closely because she was so close to Beth. She let me know that just because she was just a little bit older than me, that she didn't find it charming, that I would make a joke about that, and that I might want to rework that rap a little bit. So I knew she shouldn't be messed with. And Isle gave me the best advice about Beth, saying, your girl wants to be loved completely, she wants to laugh, and she wants children with long legs. So I think we're doing pretty well. The time that Beth and I have spent with Eileen and Craig as our two families are way too frequent, but it's always full of love and laughter, animated conversations, great food, great debates. Eileen is always together. She works hard. She cooks hard. In fact, her idea of this whole work-life balance thing is making homemade bruschetta while on a conference call, which is, she's competitive about it, about her cooking. If you like fresh vegetables, that's great. She believes in shock and awe. She has a huge garden in the country where she draws from. And not unlike a lot of people in our business, Eileen enjoys a little bit of control and being the captain of her own destiny. But I can tell you that in my view, it's pretty special to be able to say about someone that you know about both her joy and her pain. I can't believe I'm going to be the first one to cry at the Matrix Awards. Jesus, God. My wife would so not be surprised. Oh. I mean, the one place I thought I was safe. Eileen loves to work and achieve and be stimulated. She loves her husband, Craig, and her children, Patrick, Emma, and Leah. Love is what drives her as she serves as a role model for her high-achieving girls, and so does the pain of Patrick's disabilities. It is the part of her life that cannot be perfected or overcome. It is a reality that can only be treated with the love that she gives him and the often grueling work that she does to ensure that he will always be well cared for. I have seen Eileen shine in her professional life, but I have also seen her struggle alongside her autistic son as he tries to speak or navigate a simple task. She has found in Craig a true partner in her life with whom she confronts P's successes and his disappointments. She patiently indulges Patrick's love of watching YouTube videos of his favorite New York City subway lines or reciting lines from Disney movies, which I've seen as well, over and over and over again. She celebrates his small triumphs with the same glee and encouragement she shows her daughters, all the while standing strong and persevering, setting the perfect example for her son and for her daughters to follow. That alone is worthy of this honor that Eileen receives today. The rest is fleeting. Congratulations, Eileen.
Who knew he was such a crybaby? Thank you, David, for being here. One of my most vivid David moments took place in a small movie theater in upstate New York about 15 years ago, watching the movie Shrek with my kids. There was David, scrunched into a seat, powering through a big boy box of Raisinets, laughing loudest at Donkey's lines, grooving to the music, having a great time. Now, some of you may know that David is a gifted dancer, right, Mary J? 6'5" and a regular twinkle toes. So when the closing song, I'm a Believer, came on, and my impulsive son jumped to his feet to rock it out, who was right there in the aisle with him, dancing his heart out? Yes, folks, the Shrek-loving, candy-munching, future host of Meet the Press. Rocking it out in unrestrained communion with my boy. I love you, David. Thank you for being here. So, to be standing here as a Matrix honoree alongside journalists, artists, filmmakers, business leaders, a queen, and the most potent catalyst for gender equality of our time, the graceful, wise, heroic Gloria Steinem, is what we in social media call a life event. Now, I attend a lot of events in this room, and each year, this is my favorite. Always inspiring, always hopeful, always fun, always a full house. Because ladies, we have to keep meeting like this. So I'm very grateful to be here, up here, just this once up here instead of out there, where I've sat so many times. It's truly a thrill. And I've tried to piece together over a lifetime of events how it is that I've been invited into this matrix circle of women who changed the world, and share a little bit about what I've learned along the way. So first, I started young. I am a first-generation American, one of 6 children of hardworking Irish parents, and there's my mom. There she met with Kathy before. And they embraced this American ideal where hard work plus a good education equaled better opportunity. So disciplined effort was the rule in our family. Make your bed, Do your homework, say your prayers. And that wired me from a very young age to go hard at a task. Next, I've been a dreamer. I spent my junior year of college in Paris and would often sit in the media room at the Pompidou Center, reading the Herald Tribune, Time Magazine, Le Monde, worrying about the world, the energy crisis, $32 barrel of oil prices. And my dream job at that time was to be the Paris bureau chief of Time Magazine, live a bilingual life, have great clothes, interpret the cross currents of culture, politics, business, and the arts. Well, dreams don't always come true. I never did become the Paris bureau chief of Time Magazine, but I did become the president of Time Magazine. Reaching far beyond my college-aged reverie. And then, like many of us, all of us actually who live on this earth, I've had dreams shattered. One sunny afternoon, just about 20 years ago, my 18-month-old Patrick was diagnosed with Fragile X syndrome, the only known inherited cause of autism and cognitive impairment. And his diagnosis absolutely pierced my heart and my husband's heart and set us on an uncharted course as parents of a disabled child. It's not an easy path, but on that journey, we found an abundance of love, strength, resolve, and yes, a whole lot of joy. I've learned that when your heart is hurt, you're more compassionate towards others and yourself. And when your heart is tender, there's no place for pettiness or bitterness, but there's a whole lot more space for tolerance, acceptance, patience, and determination. And so I've rallied. Having a disabled child made me lean in well before Cheryl reminded us to. And I've had the great good fortune to work at the confluence of information, marketing, and technology on some of the most iconic brands in their categories, Time and Fortune, Google and YouTube. And while the shift from analog to digital content delivery and consumption has been really hard for the incumbents, it's been the fuel of innovation for our digital pace setters like Google. And now, it didn't seem to me at the time, but I was one of the very lucky ones to leave Time Inc. in an unplanned exodus of executive talent at the end of 2005, even though my dear friend Dick Parsons did call me and say, "Leanie, come over here and work for me." I said, "No, Dick, I'm leaving." It's true. I had done some of the best work of my career leading Time. We introduced the Time 100, now the magazine's most successful franchise. We hosted events like the Global Health Summit with PBS and the Gates Foundation, which Bono, I had lunch with him, Bono called the Woodstock of global health. And we struck a deal with Google to digitize 10 million images from the Life Picture Collection, all at Google's cost, with no commercial strings attached. Now, this was odd to me. Why would a company like Google want to pay its money to digitize 10 million images? But they simply, Google believes in organizing the world's information and making it universally accessible and useful. So Google simply digitized those for posterity and nothing else. Now, it's been quite a ride for me to see from both angles and help bridge the two worlds of the analog and digital businesses, and it's been a privilege to do so as a leader at Google, a very different kind of company, and arguably the most innovative company in the world. So throughout most of my career, I thought I was a post-feminist feminist. No, the glass ceiling had already been shattered, but I think I was wrong, because there's no such thing as post-feminism. We'll be at this task for generations, ladies and gentlemen, because in work as in society, gender parity is a basic human right. So let's teach our children, and let's teach our daughters, our girls, skills for the future, math and science along art and history. And let's keep dreaming and imagine a world of equals. And when, not if, but when a dream is shattered, let's be reminded that the grace with which one shoulders life's inevitable burden shapes character and casts a brighter light on moments when dreams do come true, as they have for me here today. So with much gratitude in my heart, thank you. And truly a heart full of love for my husband, my anchor, Craig, and my children, Emma, Leah, and Patrick, my mother and sisters, and so many friends in this room, David and others. I thank you all for this life event.